Hi everyone, this is Will with Will the Artist. Please go ahead and click that subscribe button below and tap that like button. It really helps the channel, helps serve that almighty YouTube algorithm. Today I'm going to be talking about the Focusrite Scarlett 6i6. Once you have this plugged in, the two things that you need to make sure you have done is you have your power on and you have your USB connected to your computer. When you go to the sound settings, just for the general settings on your computer, that is set to the Focusrite Scarlett 6i6 or whatever the name of your interface happens to be. Then that's basically telling your computer that you want to use this interface as the main input and output for your audio device. You don't want to use the internal speakers and internal microphone that is the default setting for your computer. What interfaces do is convert analog audio to digital so it's readable for the computer. Now the onboard microphone and the onboard speakers of your computer, they're not up to the quality of a professional studio. So what we need to do is we need an external way of having that audio transmitted from our nice microphones to our computer. And the thing that does that is called an interface. And that's what this is right here. This interface has 4 inputs. You can see that there are 2 inputs on the front here, either XLR or 1/4-inch cable on the front. You can plug the 1/4-inch cable, or also known as guitar cable, into the center here. That center hole fits a 1/4-inch cable, and also the bigger hole around it fits an XLR cable. Now you can see how there's a separation between these two. So these are 2 separate channels that you have gain access to. So this is the gain for this channel 1, and this is going to be the gain for channel 2. Clicking this button here activates this phantom power, those condenser mics that do need it, that don't have external power source, so you will need to give them the power source there by using that. Be aware that it does actually activate all of the inputs while doing that. So if you have a mic that doesn't take phantom power or isn't allowed to have phantom power, and you have a mic that does, as you're going to have to record them separately. Now, moving over to the right side of this machine here, we have our master monitor knob. Most of the time, this monitor knob is nice and big and obvious because that is actually going to control these 2 outputs in the back. That 1 and 2, main left and right, 1, 2 there output is controlled by this guy, this big dial. Then you have 2 headphone outs for your listening pleasure. So basically, ideally, this would be a great setup if you had a 2-person podcast going, or you wanted to record an input on a vocal and a guitar at the same time. And if you wanted to have 2 playback listens, you have their individual volume control on these outputs. And then you also have a 3rd and 4th output. So if you wanted to have another set of speakers, moving to the back here, we do also see 2 more inputs. So there are 4 inputs on this interface. The thing is that there's only 2 XLR inputs. So the remaining 2 inputs, they're actually 1/4-inch inputs. So as you can see here, which are guitar cables. Then continuing to look at the back here, we can see that you have your MIDI in and your MIDI out for your MIDI controller. Moving along, we have your USB 2 that you will connect to your computer. On the other end of that, that's a normal looking USB that we all know and love. Maybe not love, but if you're ever missing anything or something like that, you're like, where's that USB cable that came along with my my interface that I'm trying to use for the first time in 2 years? Well, it's a printer cable as well. They're not impossible to find. So there's and also a digital in and out. This is for speaker purposes. This is basically an input and an output. But the main thing you're going to want to focus on here is your front panel. Setting your gain is one of the most important things you can do for your audio quality. This interface Focusrite makes served me well because it's a really well-made machine. It's not cheap feeling. It's not cheap looking. There's a lot of great things you can achieve with an interface as simple as this. Interfaces are very important, but I would say that you want to get one that serves a purpose for you. For example, this served a great purpose for me. I didn't need more than 4 inputs for my interface. I had 2 XLR inputs, and I was mostly doing a lot of guitar and vocal stuff. Really make sure that when you're purchasing an interface, or you're purchasing anything audio-wise, that it fits what you're doing, that it will serve you, not that it's something cool and shiny. Make sure that it'll be of value to you, and that it won't just sit on the shelf. The Focusrite is a great piece of machinery. They're all great nowadays. You're really not going to find a bad one, unless if it's one like a clunky used one from a while ago. I would say if it was built in the last 5 to 10 years, it will make your entire experience with audio better, because in this box it's converting your audio so that your computer doesn't have to do a lot of the work with the conversion. So that was the Scarlett 6i6. Please like and subscribe. It helps that almighty YouTube algorithm. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please let me know if there's any questions. I really would love to help anybody that is struggling with any of this. That's the main reason I'm doing this, is to help. I really want people to feel a community at which they can go to and not feel like there's any bit of ill will. There's ultimate freedom to be able to figure this all out, because I was on this journey, and I still am on this journey of discovering this stuff and feeling more comfortable with it on a daily basis. So if I can do anything to help anybody, it would be an amazing pleasure for me. And that all starts down in the comments. So please go ahead and like, subscribe, and most important, please go ahead and leave a comment for me. Whether you liked it, hated it, or have a question, we'd love to hear it. This is Will. This has been Will the Artist. Thanks.